Hi, I'm Cynthia Cheng-Levin. My pronouns are she, her, and thank you to all who contribute to our Lenten second mile donation. I'm sorry I can't be with you this Sunday morning, but I'm glad to have the opportunity to tell you about one of the new recipient organizations of our Lenten collection, and that is Bread for the World. I have been your church organizer for Bread for the World for at least 6 years now, probably more. Our church has been a steadfast supporting congregation for the annual offering of letters for many years now, which is one of the primary ways that we advocate with other churches each year, united by our Christian values. Bread for the World is a Christian advocacy organization. It's a collective Christian voice urging U.S. decision makers to do all they can to pursue a world without hunger. Our mission is to educate and equip people to advocate for policies and programs that can help end hunger in the U.S. and around the world. It was founded 50 years ago by Reverend Art Simon, a Lutheran pastor ordained from Concordia Seminary right here in St. Louis. He saw that, in his own words, almost nothing was being done to encourage Christians as citizens to urge decision makers to craft policies that would address hunger and poverty. Art felt that by doing little or nothing to influence elected leaders on the problem of hunger, Christians were silently approving or reinforcing policies that contribute to hunger. Certainly, direct service and donations to food banks will always be part of the ministry of churches. It will always be part of what Parkway does. Food banks are absolutely essential, but Bread focuses solely on advocacy. Why? Well, because with the stroke of a pen, our government leaders have the power to create or destroy policies and programs that impact millions of people at once. The way most people know about Bread at our church is through the offering of letters, where we give you sample letters, invite you into the gathering space, and we all write together well over 100 letters that we hand deliver to our congressional offices here in the district. But what you don't see behind the scenes is that Bread is offering organizers like me webinars and in-person trainings so that we get all the good campaign knowledge and best practices and tips to make it a success. They also offer clergy help and to help people like Kevin to have a good background in what is specifically happening and how it is grounded in Scripture. Staff in DC provide information to congressional offices. They conduct research all year long, and that work in DC is the basis of the support and training that I get. Which brings me to my story. I've been a member of Bread for the World for about 25 years, starting in my congregation in the Chicago area. Some of you know that I advocate with many groups on several issues, but my very first letter that I wrote to Congress was a letter about hunger with Bread for the World at an offering of letters. I was invited, just like you, to eat bread and write down my thoughts about hunger policies. And Bread also taught me to write my very first published letter to the editor. And it was with my church's support that I attended my very first Bread for the World Advocacy Summit in DC, so I could learn how to lobby members of Congress back in the state and learn how to organize an offering of letters myself. I'm really grateful to see that the appetite for advocacy in our congregation is growing as we've been leaning into the part of our mission of creating a just world for all. And at the same time, our federal government has been leaning farther away from our values of caring for the most vulnerable people. I know that some of you are like me, coming to the Parkway UCC Sanctuary in person or virtually, seeking not only peace from an onslaught of anxiety, from political instability, but also inspiration to be able to do something about programs that we hear are being slashed and attacked. At present, Bread for the World is pretty much the only way that we're taking action on a national level in this way. So I am grateful that our activities with Bread will be supported by second mile donations this year. With my time remaining, I'll just give you a quick update that our offering of letters is going to be on June 1st, so I hope to see you all there. And this year, our campaign is part of a 2-year campaign called Nourish Our Future. It will be focused on addressing child hunger and malnutrition, both in the U.S. and around the world, through legislative advocacy. It aims to ensure children have the nutrition they need to grow and learn. So we're going to support the goal by advocating in 4 areas: expanding the child tax credit, strengthening WIC, that's a program that provides nutrition to women, infants, and children, addressing college hunger, and strengthening global nutrition programs. I'm also happy to announce that Bread for the World is hosting a summit again, June 9th through the 12th. And this one will be a special one in Washington, D.C. this year, because the need is great in the face of the cutting of valuable nutrition programs, but also because it's the 50th anniversary of Bread for the World. So it's the perfect opportunity for our church to train more leaders. If you go with me, you will gain timely knowledge about legislation impacting hunger from industry experts. You'll get practical advocacy training during workshops, and this is my favorite part, connect with bread advocates from around the country in faith-filled worship sessions. So once again, thank you for the generosity of this congregation, both for this donation and for the time you give in writing to Congress. Look for upcoming announcements in the bulletin from me about how you can be on the committee to help organize the June 1st Offering of Letters event, and even join me in going to Washington, D.C. this year to the Bread for the World Summit, June 9th through the 12th. Thank you. Thank you very much.